You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, now we're here from Drake Wing Gaming, studying on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Heroes Advent, Max's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, we're up, and let's go! Max marched forward, saluting diligently toward Alaric. Maxwell Silverbane, at your command, sir. Maxwell, head on to the city and help with the evacuation efforts. Any injured or trapped, make sure they are brought back safely. We'll tend to them. Yes, sir. Alexander. Yes, sir. I understand this might already be your intent, but you are to head down to the labs and salvage whatever weapons and technology you may require once we evacuate. Should Crystal Coast fall, the Akai may well be the last bastion on this entire continent we can seek refuge at. Even so, we cannot give up our resistance here. Yes, Uncle. Cody. With the... My voice for Alaric is working very well. I'll try something a little different. I'll probably try something different, more commanding. With the high influx of refugees, we need to help keep them fed. Yes, an army marches on its stomach, sir. Well said. With that, you need to hurry. Your remaining assistant is struggling and they're on his own. Remaining? One of them's gone missing? I believe so. Your tavern reported one personnel MIA earlier this morning. Do you know who it was? That, I'm afraid we do not know. Our scouts still haven't spotted him in their reconnaissance. And we cannot spare more manpower to investigate missing persons. Oh, I understand. I'll head to the kitchen to help with provisions. Good man. Where would they go at a time like this? I just hope he's okay. Indeed. And Ray? One moment. Where's Raymond? Looking around, you realize the dragon was not here anymore, apparently having slipped away during Alaric's address. Roy? Roy! Roy! Where did he go? He was right here. Max turned his head about, wafting the scent lingering in the air, eyes widened as he seemed to find what he was looking for. He only left just now. His scent is still strong. Where did he go? What would possess him to leave without dismissal? Maxwell, find Raymond and inform him of his orders. What were you going to ask of him? We've been attempting to breach the perimeter of the Crystal Park. So far, we haven't been able to penetrate into the inner sanctums where Lady Spring is. I need Raymond to lead our scouting party to find a weak point in their ranks. I'll let him know, sir. Very well. You all got your orders. Carry them out. Dismissed. Barely taking a moment to pause, Alaric turned away from you to address another group of mercenaries in need of instructions. You heard the man. We have our orders. Let's move out. With a collective nod, Cody and Alex headed toward the main building, leaving you and Max outside in the crowded field. Alaric's voice was still booming from the other side of the platform, barely standing out above them with disquieting despair that filled the air. Water time. Hey, guys and gals, we are back. Let's go ahead and jump back into it, shall we? Let's see, which one? Right there, okay, alright. The pain, groans, and desperate cries filled any potential silence to process the tumultuous situation you'd collectively been caught in. It suddenly made you feel small as the pebbles underfoot. With all the citizenry compacted into the small field, you felt like a grain of sand just waiting to pass through the hourglass, passing without notice alongside the many other lives forever altered all around you. The very thought weighed heavily on your shoulders, like an atlas holding up the sky from crashing down upon the land. Clenching your fists, you squared your shoulders. You knew all along this is what was expected of you. It was time to own up to it. You shook your head free of the imagery, pulling yourself together just enough to find your voice. Let's get going then, Max. We need to catch up to Ray. You took the first confident steps down the paved path back to where it meets the main road. You didn't get very far when you noticed Max wasn't following. In fact, he hadn't moved from spot since Alaric had given you orders. Max? He didn't respond nor react. In fact, he didn't seem to be all there at all. At first, you surmised he might just be upset at Ray's insubordination, mulling over what to do with the dragon while tempering his own anger. But the far-off, glassy look in his eyes told you otherwise. An almost soulless gaze that stared past you. You reach out for his hand, finding it cold and clammy to the touch. Was he going through a crisis too? Max? Max! He shook his hand lightly, a little panic setting in from the unnatural temperature. Was this something Isotune could go through? could you do to help bring him back to his senses? Shake him. Come on, Max, snap out of it! We need to get going! You took a hold of Max's wrist with your other hand, tugging him along as best you could. The Malamute's shoulder bent under your weight, but he remained cemented to the spot. You tried clinging onto his arm, leaning your whole weight onto it. We really have to go! Oh, that snapped his ass out of it, I think. As you jumped up, having your whole weight dropped onto him, the Malamute teetered about like a mannequin for a few seconds, before tensing up to hold both of you from falling. Huh? Cassian? Go? Need to use a latrine or something? He looked down, blinking confusedly at you, setting you down gently for you to let go. What? No, now that you mention it. God, no! Anyway, Max, what's wrong? You were just spacing out there just now. I had a lot on my mind, Cassian. Yeah, I felt it too. You did? There was a hopeful lilt in his tone, though he seemed to catch himself on it, clearing his throat and starting again. Shall we get going then? Of course. You lead, I'll follow. All right? Stay close, Cassian. Huh? It didn't seem like you liked that very much. As you left the encampment, the agitated rabble faded in the distance the moment you hit the streets of Crystal Coast again. The first thing to catch your eyes is the amount of vandalism everywhere. The once tidy road, now littered with shattered window panes, splintered wood panels, and cracked stone bricks. There's some detritus mixed in, likely supplies people tried to escape with getting dropped or torn when they were possibly attacked. Every wall was lined with scuff marks of some kind. They looked like the marking you might have seen in the woods just yesterday, made by wild animals. Are all nether beasts just creatures infested with corruption? It seems that way. Every nether-infected creature we faced or received reports on have been animals corrupted by nether exposure. The only people who we've seen nether-infected are survivors from scouting missions. We've never had to fight an actual nether-infected person. But given what the beast can do, I don't want to imagine an actual soldier. Judging by the amount of destruction, as well as how seemingly organized the damage was, there seemed more to it than simply creatures going mad from corruption. You kept close to Max. The eerie silence made you wary that something might jump out of the ruined buildings. It feels like a riot tore through here. Yes, it's far too deliberate to have been inhuman. There wasn't any doubt about that, was there? No, not that it's... The Malamute thought better of what he was about to say, instead focusing back on following Ray's scent. Ugh, the stench of corruption and blood. It's muddying Ray's scent. Do you still have it? Yes, but it's getting faint. If things keep up like this, we might have to focus our attention on the townsfolk instead. Is there no other way to regain the scent? Not like this. Unless he stops somewhere long enough for it to stand out. You stop for a moment, hand over your pocket, feeling the weight of the communicator. How good is your hearing? Max perked up, giving you his undivided attention for a moment. Not as great as my scent tracking, but still decent. Why do you ask? You pulled out the communicator, holding it up for Max to see. What if we called him? Would you be able to hear his communicator ringing? Max tilted his head, still unsure of what you were getting at. The communicator's notifier sound isn't that loud. Still worth a shot, right? You decided to open up the communication channel, switching it towards Ray's frequency preset. The two of you perked your ears up, attempting to catch any distinguishing sounds amidst the static. Most of the distant noises were still too distracting for you, but the look of bewilderment on Max's face told you that he'd heard something. Did you hear? He held his hand over your muzzle as you continued to listen, pointing toward one side of the road. I think I heard something down this way. Keep calling him. Don't let the sound go out. He nodded, keeping the communicator close to your ear as you kept pace with Max, the two of you soon racing down whatever available path you could find. Oh. Alright. You nodded. Okay. Okay. Every time the communicator fell silent, you'd call again, putting you both back on track. I think I can pick up on his scent again. He's not far from here. Max took a sharp left turn at the end of the alleyway. You pivot to follow, just in time to see the white ball of fur running toward the red-scaled man in the distance. Rye! The dragon froze in his tracks, turning to face both of you. You were too far to tell, but it almost looked like he was upset you were there. Ray! He finally caught up to Max, looking up at the dragon perched atop a pile of debris, already turning away to keep running. Ray, wait! Where are you going? He turned his body in your direction, his head facing elsewhere. Right, you have to come with us. Master Alec has given us our orders. The dragon's snout pulled back in an angered snarl. You could almost swear his mouth was glowing. I'm not going back, Mike. We can't be running off on our own like this. But I need to... Master Alec has a task only you can do. It has to wait until We need you to come back with us to find a way into the epicenter of the crystal. Max. With your speed, we could... Max! Shut up and listen, will ya? You both winced. You hadn't heard Ray raise his voice this harshly since the last argument between him and Max. Tristan is out there, somewhere, without his big brother. You saw how much everything's gone to shit. He might not make it without me. Tristan? He wasn't already at the guild? I didn't see him. I have to see if he's still at home. Then we'll go with you. We'll be safer in numbers. No. I mean, you don't have to, Max. Ray, what's gotten into you? What do you mean you don't want our help? The dragon looked over his shoulder, down the blocked-off path beyond the collapsed building. He seemed to try coming up with a reason, though only succeeded in stammering and faltering over and over. Max, on the other hand, waited patiently, crossing his arms expectantly for the dragon to finally give his reason. Even though he'd just effectively gone AWOL a moment ago, Ray's never given you a reason to not trust him before. Ray, listen, we just want to help. What's making you act like this? He seemed to have calmed down, just enough to ruminate over what he wanted to say. I can't say. What? Why not? I just can't. If I said it, you wouldn't agree to help me. Right, be reasonable. We want to help you, but you need to tell us what's going on. Max, I can't. Not now. Especially when I know you won't like what I'm going to say. What do you mean by that? We're going in way over our heads, man. This is too much for you, for me, any of us. I just can't keep losing things like this. You already lost your brother. I don't want the same for me. Right, don't. Max slept onto the crumbled debris, trying to reach Ray. Though the dragon didn't stand for it, taking a deep breath, he expelled a gout of flame, setting the rubble ablaze in a large pyre. It caught Max off guard, jumping back to the ground with a deft landing. You both watched helplessly as the dragon disappeared over the hill, beyond your reach. Rai! You can sense Max beginning to conjure his ice magic, attempting to put out the fire. You took him by the arm, forcing the cold air to dissipate as the Malamute looked down to you in desperation. Cassian! You shook your head, pointing down an adjacent alley. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. And thank you to all of our patrons and our YouTube membership YouTube members, I guess you would call it. We greatly appreciate all you contribute to the channel. It definitely helps us. Thank you all so much. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!